What's going on? I'm here with my man, Tom Cruz, my Section 8 real estate mentor. You know, I just got into Section 8 real estate thanks to Tom. He's been putting me on.
Got his first property.
I got my first property. We're going to talk more about that later in this video. And we're going to walk through how you can get involved in Section 8 real estate, start making some money, buying back the block like Tom and I. But I want to go back to the beginning, with you, like how it started. I know one of your first goals was to get a Lamborghini, kind of like this one you have here.
Yeah.
But can you walk us through that? How you went from having the first idea to get your Lambo to execution? Just walk us step by step, because maybe somebody like this would be next.
Definitely. So this is actually my second Lamborghini. The first Lamborghini that I had was a white Spider. I've always had Lamborghini on my mind as the car that I wanted, you know, when I thought that I was a driver, that I would have made it. My first car that I had was a 2015 Huracan. And I spent, I think, around $260,000 for that car. At that time, I was scraping by, right? I had no business buying that car when I did it. I think I put 10% down, was able to find a bank that would allow me to put, 25, 26 grand down on it.
How much was it again, you said?
I spent around 260, 270.
Okay, so that's way less expensive than you. Yeah, so this one may be out of some people's price range.
Yeah, this is a little bit more simply because it was newer. This was about $300,000. My last one I bought pre-owned.
Okay.
That's when I got started with Section 8, so I figured that's my ability.
Yeah, let's walk them through that. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I believe that was a 260 car. It was a balloon white Huracan with orange interior. And like I said, I scraped by to get it, right? I was gonna get it one way or another. I think I got around 27 years old, and it was through wholesaling properties, then buying Section 8 rentals, and using that guaranteed passive income to make that $4,000 monthly payment. When I was younger, I had not a ton of cash. I was wholesaling properties pretty early on. If you guys aren't familiar with wholesale, I would basically find these units and rentals in distress areas. I would put them under contract for, let's say, $60,000, and then I would find an actual buyer that wanted to buy them for maybe $63,000 or $64,000. I was essentially selling the contract because I didn't have the money to actually close on them myself. So let's say I made $3,000 on an assignment deal on a wholesale project. I would then save that money and then go buy a Section 8 rental property that I knew that was going to generate monthly cash flow. Now you might be wondering, Tom, how are you putting $3,000 down on these properties? And I figured out that you can use seller financing early on. If you avoid the banks altogether, you don't have to worry about putting 20% down on each unit. When you're doing seller financing, you're making the monthly payment directly to the homeowner. So let's say Brandon had a property for $70,000, been trying to sell it for 6 months, couldn't sell it. And I came to him and I offer him a really good seller finance deal. And I said, hey, Brandon, I'll give you 7% interest on your money. I'll make those monthly payments on the first of every month, and you're not gonna have to wait forever to get all your cash back. It's much more probable that they're gonna accept your seller finance offer. So back to the Lamborghini math. I knew that in order to make $4,000 per month, I needed to have 7 or 8 Section 8 rental properties that was gonna cover that monthly payment. And that's basically how I work backwards. I wholesale properties, I got the cash from those assignment deals, I reinvested that buying seller finance deals, putting Section 8 tenants in those properties, and then finally I was able to get a Lamborghini.
So 7 or 8
rental
properties would pay for the Lamborghini.
Pay for the monthly payment on the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Of course, there's insurance and gas, everything else. So I factored that in as well. But back then in 2016, 2017, I think my insurance was maybe $300 or $400 per month on it. I had USA, shout out to my grandfather who was military. And the gas, I mean, you need to pay for that anyway, so it's really bad.
Yeah. Now, how much is this one, just so I know what?
Yeah, this one over $300,000.
Yeah.
It's a 2022 Huracan Evo Spider. This is their next evolution of the previous Huracan. And this is very advanced. We have the Dero black interior and the carbon fiber sport bucket seats. And yeah, I've always wanted a Lamborghini, so I continue to buy them.
Yeah. And then you said this is more per month, or is it less because you put so much down?
I put a lot more money on this one down, so I think my payment here is like $37 or $38.
Okay. What about for the Ghost?
I've been talking about the big boy one. This is the 2024. This is actually one of 25 in the world. This is the Rolls Royce Black Badge Ghost, the Ekleipsis version. This one was $575,000. I bought it at the same time that I bought my 2024 Rolls Royce Spectre. This is actually in twilight purple, two-tone and black. She was right under $600,000. I did finance this actually with Rolls Royce Financial, and her monthly payment is right around, I think, $7,000 or $8,000 per month.
So, man, this is only a few of these in the whole world, right?
Correct. No, that was gonna be this one.
Oh, that's still.
This is the Rolls Royce Ghost. This is one of 25 in the world. This is the Ekleipsis version. And they did it to kind of duplicate the eclipse that happens every so often.
And then you got the Dawn.
The Rolls Royce Dawn. This is my 2022 Rolls Royce Dawn. She was right at the over $500 million. The old payment on it was around $6,000 per month, but I recently paid her off, so I have a type of inheritor along with the Lamborghini. And
Nice.
you know, the big boy, 924 misspoke. Phantom, she cost around $724,000. Took about 18 months for her to come in, but yeah, this is my favorite one.
Yeah, no, this one is nice. Now, I was wondering if you can like show us some more of the math
Sure.
and just break down how you look for properties and software use. You guys feel like you might find that helpful.
Yeah, you can go right up to my Section 8 Pro platform, actually how I find the deals, the numbers on those deals, and basically how I can get to a Lamborghini using Section 8.
Let's go. All right, so now we back at your headquarters, home. So what is this software you're about to show us?
Yeah, this is called Section 8 Pro. This is actually a platform that me and my team built to help find the best Section 8 properties in the country. You can actually come in here and put, let's say the minimum you want to spend is $80,000 on a property, and you want to make a cash flow of $700 per month. You click search, and then what it's going to do is show you all the best properties in the country that you can then go and take a look at. So this one, for example, is $75,000. The gross rents here that Section 8 will pay guaranteed is $1,565 per month. We automatically calculate the management expenses, the taxes, the insurance, and then you have your annual net operating income, and then you can figure out how much you want to put down. This is a seller finance deal, so if you want to put down, let's say $4,000 on this property, your mortgage payment will be $448 that you make to this seller every single month, because we're not using banks, guys, we're doing seller financing. So your monthly cash flow is going to be $836 every single month, or about $10,000 a year, just from this one property.
So basically what you're saying is this software, it finds all the properties that are available that will qualify for Section 8.
Correct.
And it does basically the math for you.
Yeah. So traditionally, when I was using Zillow or Realtor.com, I had to go look at a property, and I was like, oh, this property looks good condition, but how much does Section 8 pay for it? So I had to go look at what Section 8 pays. Well, what's the crime there like? Oh, I don't know. Oh, what's the taxes and insurance, and what's going to be the overall net cash flow and all the numbers? So I'd have to do all those numbers separately for every single property. Now we do it automatically, and then we filter it in best condition, so you automatically can see, and it updates every 6 hours. We grab all that data from Realtor, Zillow. This is all live listings that you guys have instant access to that we just filtered a lot more efficiently.
That's amazing. Let me see the crime thing.
Yeah. So if you guys want to go here and you want to look at a crime at a specific address, you just put in whatever the address is of the property that you're looking at. And then boom, we tell you the violent crime, murders, sexual assaults, all of that's going to be included here. And then we tell you how much Section 8 is paying for a 4-bedroom, a 3-bedroom in that county. So all that data is instantly displayed. And again, that's updated, I believe, every 24 hours with the crime reports. We also have Fair Market Explorer. So here we show you all the most profitable counties in the country. You can click on any county. We'll tell you the average cash flow, how many listings are there as of the last refresh, which is 6 hours prior, how much Section 8 pays in that county here as well. And then we also tell you how many average listing age. Average listing age is one of the most important metrics you can look at. The longer the property has been on the market, the more desperate or motivated the seller is going to be to accept a seller finance deal, accept a low ball. So these are all metrics that we're looking at.
What is seller financing, just so people understand?
Yeah, so seller financing is a creative way that you can buy a property. So let's say, Brandon, you have a house that you want to sell for, let's say, $70,000. And you haven't been able to sell the property. It might be ugly. It might have like crazy paint. You might have an overgrown lawn, or you might have a couple $1,000s in, past due taxes that you haven't paid yet. And let's say I come to you and I say, hey man, I'll take that all off your hands. I'll give you $4,000 down, and I'll give you, let's say, $500 per month in order to be able to buy this property at a 7% interest rate, or some interest rate that we agree on. So now I'm making the monthly payments to you. I'm not making the monthly payments to a bank. There's no banks involved. And you as a seller, you're not going to ask me for my credit score. You're not going to ask me for 20% down. You're not asking for any of this stuff, because you know that if I stop making the payment, you're just going to take the house back and you're going to keep the down payment and everything else I've already paid.
Yeah.
So seller financing is one of the easiest ways to buy a ton of properties. And if we go back to my platform, and you can click on seller financing on the right, and it's going to show you all the seller finance deals in the country, because we're looking at the description, so we know exactly which units are available for seller financing and which ones are not. And then it's just a matter of clicking on the property, clicking on open listing, and then from here you can go ahead and reach out directly to the agent and make your offer.
So that's how we bought my first property.
Yeah, exactly.
It was seller finances just like this. You reached out to them, we found one, and I put $2,000 down for it. It was
$2,000 down, on the first property.
It's close to 70 grand.
Correct. I think it was $68,000 was the purchase price for his first unit.
Yeah, and my monthly payments are like $500 a month. Now we're about to just get a property manager involved, so we don't have to do nothing.
They're going to be handling the process of getting the unit ready, putting a tenant in there, basically taking over the entire process.
Yep, and then everything Section 8 pays after the property management fees and the mortgage that goes in my pocket.
Yeah, so the property management fee is 10% of the rent. So Brennan didn't pay a full-time property manager there. So he hired a company that is going to take 10% of the rent. Let's say the rent is $1,500. They're going to pay, Brandon's going to pay them $150 per month. And then the $1,350 is going to be the remaining amount. Obviously, Brandon has a $500 mortgage, so he's going to take that $500 out of there, and then there's going to be taxes and insurance. So he'll probably be netting around $500 to $600 per month on that one unit.
And we're just going to keep repeating that until I'm buying 2-3 Rolls Royces a year, like at a time, like Tom. One thing a lot of people wonder is, how do we buy these properties out of state? Do they have to be in the same state we live in? Do we have to go visit them? I never even seen this place up. it was in somewhere in like Ohio.
Right.
So how does that work? If you can explain to the people.
Yeah, so I mean, we both live in Miami, Florida. It's one of the most expensive markets in the country to buying rental properties or just even primary residence. So obviously not buying here. When we're buying out of state, we're going to be using home inspectors to look at the property. Brandon got an inspection on the property. We're also going to have property managers that's going to go to the property and show tenants the units and have, leases signed. We also have a buyer's agent, a real estate agent that's going to handle a lot of the coordination of documents and inspections and all that with the seller. So there's a lot of different people involved that are just only paid when you buy the property. So you're not paying a lot of these upfront expenses simply for doing the due diligence. So that's a big way that we're able to buy these properties in super high cash flowing areas. Yeah. You don't ever want to just buy just because you live near an area. Yeah. Like if this property happened to be in Miami and there was an issue with the toilet, Brandon's not going to go there. He's going to call a property manager. Yeah. So it's the same thing if it's in, Indiana or if it is here in Miami, Florida.
The property management is going, I don't even have to call them, right? The tenant.
The tenant calls property management.
I'll find out after it happens.
You find out after it happens.
Yeah.
And we have ways to mitigate repair costs. So we're not paying repair costs or major capital expenses, roofs, HVACs, all that stuff. We've mitigated and streamlined that process through Section 8. So Brandon won't be covering any of that.
Yeah. Listen, Tom.
Yeah.
What can someone expect as far as cash flow goes per each property? How do you make sure that you get?
Yeah, so a big part of it is deciding exactly how you're going to finance the property. Like when you're doing seller financing, you're putting $3,000 to $4,000 down per property, which obviously means you're going to have less cash flow. You're going to be expecting $450 to $500 a month in net cash flow because the area that we're buying it for you had a high rent. Mm-hmm. So with a high rent and you subtract $500 a month in your actual mortgage, you're going to be left with a lot of monthly profit, right?
Yeah.
Same thing if you're using a conventional loan or if you use a hard money lender and you're putting 20% down, then you're going to be making $800, $900 or $1,000 per month because you're putting more money down.
Got it.
And we ensure this because we're checking how much Section 8 is paying there. That's one of the beautiful parts about Section 8.
The government
pays for it.
Yeah.
You know exactly how much you're going to be paying before you ever buy the property.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so Section 8 allowed you to get all those cars. You got this $5 million boat, $20 million crib. How can people learn how to start getting this Section 8 money the way you have and the way I'm starting to get into it too?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna do some more information about how Brandon buy his first property. Coming up, we have a free Section 8 masterclass where we're gonna show you exactly how to choose these properties, how to put them under contract, how to finance them with only $2,500 to $3,000 down. No credit, bad credit, it does not matter. We're gonna take you through the exact process that Brandon went through in order to buy his first property. We have a few spots left. Make sure you click the link below and we look forward to seeing you there.
Let's get it, man. We're buying back the block. Register now. All right.